Yoga practice is so often about opening the hips and working with the shoulders, are two major joints that all sorts of muscles attach to. But between those two major joints, we have the side body, defined as that area from the top of the iliac crest all the way to the armpit. And lots of muscles affect our side body length. In this practice, we'll work on lengthening the side body in order to elongate and support our spine. We'll begin in child's pose. Draw your inner big toes together and take your knees nice and wide apart. If you need support for this, by all means. But if you can, bring your pelvis back toward your heels. Walk your hands forward. Have the hands nice and engaged by lifting the wrist creases up, clawing the mat in fingertip top position, and release your head slightly. Walk your hands to your right side, and notice as you walk your hands to the right side, your left sit bone wants to leave your left heel. So see if you can use your right hand to press down firmly to get the left sit bone closer to the earth. Now stack your left hand on top of your right. And invite your breath to expand through the side body while still keeping a strong rooted quality with the left hip drawing down toward the earth. You breathe in to expand the side body. You breathe out long. Now take your left hand off the right, come back to the center position. In the center position, let the palm of the hand draw flat, but lift your fingers up. As you do, press down from the wrist creases to draw in toward the heart. Lift your fingers up just a little bit higher. You get a nice engagement here. You start to feel the shoulders working nicely. Release your hands down. Come to fingertip top position again. Walk your hands over to the left. And as you just kind of observe this side stretch, notice again if your right sit bones lift slightly, draw them back. Place your right hand on top of your left. Release your head. Allow your breath to expand through the right side body. So from the pelvis to the armpit, through the upper arm, you just feel a nice lengthening quality. And exaggerate that slightly. Coax the breath to expand that area even more fully. Now walk your hands back to the center position, hands nice and wide apart. Place your palms down. Lift your fingers up. Draw in from the wrist creases toward your heart. So nice engagement of the arms as you try to reach your fingertips back and continue to soften the heart down toward the earth. Elbows stay lifted. Now come to a tabletop position. In all fours position, take your right hand to your low back. Lift your right shoulder. Reach your right hand away from you. Extend the right arm straight. Now thread the right hand underneath the left armpit. And rather than staying here for now, we'll repeat that a few times. So inhale, lift yourself up. And extend your right arm to the right side, and then thread it underneath your left armpit, reaching out even further. Inhale, expand, lift your arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, lift your arm up, open up. Exhale, this time, spend a little bit of time in the pose. Allow your head to release down, your shoulder rest, or you can use a block. Let's get a nice twist here as you take your attention to your breath. Now come out of the pose into that tabletop position. Tuck your toes under. Draw your pelvis back toward your heels. Lift your hands up so you're on fingertip top position. Release your head again. With the strength of your hands, draw more weight back to the heels. Inhale, come back to all fours or this tabletop position and take your left hand to your low back. Just turn your heart toward the left side. Reach your left arm out. The arm is nice and straight. Thread it right under the right armpit. Inhale, reach your left arm to the left side again. Open up maybe a little bit more. Exhale, thread it underneath the right armpit. Inhale, open the chest nicely. Exhale, thread it under the right armpit. Inhale, open up. And this time, let the left shoulder just rest on the floor. Let your head rest or get a block to allow you to just stay in the pose a little bit longer. Enjoy your breath. Make your way back to all fours position with your toes tucked under, with your hands as wide apart as the mat. Draw your pelvis back toward the heels. Release your head. Really work your toes here as you take more weight to the heels. Now slowly come back to all fours position where you'll step your right foot forward. And you can carry the right foot so that's right between your hands. Let your pelvis just settle into the pose first so that you wake up the pelvis nicely. Just take the hands right above your knee. Get this nice lifting quality to your pose. Release your hands down. Come to all fours position again. Step your left foot right between your hands. You can always use your hand to park your left foot in the right spot. Drop into the pose. Lower your pelvis. Take your hands right above your knee and continue to let gravity help you out as you drop the pelvis a little bit lower. You lift and you get nice freedom and length from the pelvis to the crown of the head. Release your hands to the mat. Come back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, with your hands nice and wide apart, the fingertip tops Feel like they're clawing the mat so that you get a nice strength in the arms. Lift your heels high, bend your knees slightly, move your pelvis side to side so that you get this nice length to the side body. Just moving side to side. Come back to the center position. Look forward right between your hands and land your right foot right between your hands. Bring your back knee to the earth. Lift yourself up with your back toenails pressing down. Lift yourself nice and high. Just park your right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Turn your right palm up. Reach your left arm up and reach over to the right side as you settle the pelvis in toward the earth. Just get nice length to the left side body. Release your hand back to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Lift your heels up again so you're on tiptoes. Bend your knees. Just move the pelvis side to side. Again, just taking our focus during this practice to lengthening the side body. Come back to the center position with the heels lifted. Step your left foot right between your hands. So with the heels lifted, you get a little bit more space to move. Draw the knee down, the toenails down of the back leg. Lift yourself up. Reach your right arm up as the left forearm just parks itself on the left side. Reach your right arm over your head and just lengthen through the right side. From the right side of the pelvis to the armpit. Enjoy this length. Release your hands down to the mat. Step yourself back to downward facing dog. And in the same way, lift your heels high, bend your knees a little bit, lift your sit bones high. And from there, keeping a nice curve in the low back, reach your right heel down. Reach your left heel down so the legs come straight, but you still have a nice curve in the low back. Inhale, come to a plank position, and very slowly lower yourself to the mat. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind your back and lift your chest. Exhale, soften. 2 more. Bend your elbows slightly. Lift your heart. Exhale, soften. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Take your hands alongside your ribs. Come to all fours position. Step your right foot right between your hands again. This time, pivot your left foot in toward the right side and lift yourself up. Now take your right forearm to the top of the thigh. Reach your left arm up. Reach your left arm over. So you get this nice feeling of length again, working on the length of the side body here. Now, maybe you can just draw yourself a little bit deeper into the pose as you settle the pelvis down. Now come back to all fours position. Step your right foot back. Take your left foot forward. Pivot your right foot to the left side. Take your left forearm to the top of the left thigh. Reach your right arm up. Spread your fingers so that you get this nice tone in the right arm. And just draw yourself a little bit deeper in the pose as you take the right arm over your head. Inhale, lift yourself up, come to tabletop position. Now, step the right foot just to the outside of your right hand. So it's pretty wide. Walk your hands at the diagonal here. With your hands in this kind of long downward facing dog position, tuck your back toes under, root down through the back heel, stretch the fingers to the side as you draw the inner thighs back and apart. Just relax your head. Enjoy this nice length of the side body while you get a nice hip opener as well. Walk your hands back, park your knee down, step your right foot back and take your left foot to the outer side of your left hand. Walk your hands at the diagonal, tuck your back toes under, park your back heel with the hands nice and wide apart. Allow the heart to just settle in toward the earth. Now take your hands back. Bring your back knee down. Come to all fours position. Reach your pelvis back. Release your head. Invite fullness to the breath. And make your way to a seated pose by walking your hands toward your knees with your legs straight, feet in front of you. So as you sit tall in Dandasana, invite the fullness of the poses that we've done to just allow you to sense the elongation of your spine. You feel so much more spacious through the actions that we've done. And we'll continue these actions. So bend your right knee and bend your left knee. Just park your left foot just somewhere behind the right ankle so that you're stable as you pick up your right heel. And just move it side to side so you get this nice opening in this baby cradle action. Now inch your left foot just a little bit closer to your right hip. Park your right foot down to the outer left knee. Pull in with the power of the leg. Pull the right knee in, but put more weight. Just lean to the right just slightly so that both sit bones are very firmly planted. With the left hand, just urge just a little bit more hugging in action with that right inner knee as you twist. Make this an easy twist here. We're just kind of exploring the right side and the left side and these actions that we're doing. See if you can take your right knee over your left knee. For some of us, that just won't work. So straighten the bottom leg, and you'll be able to align your knees properly. Keeping that, draw your heart forward. So some of us are in two bent legs, some of us have only the right knee bent. Just draw forward just slightly in order to create a little bit more openness in the area of the pelvis. Now inhale, come up and extend the right leg forward again in Dandasana. Sit tall. Just admire the length that you've gotten on the right side and the left side during this practice. Bend your left knee and thread the right foot just behind the ankle there. Again, to keep you stable so that when you lift up your left foot, and you can move it side to side to get lots of flexibility in the hip joint. Move side to side. Now inch your right foot a little bit closer to your pelvis. Park your foot to the outer right knee. Draw through the power of the left leg. Draw the left thigh a little bit closer to your ribs. Twist. Don't apply too much strength here through the arms. Allow the legs to do lots of the action as you press through the base of the big toe. Release out of your twist. Now see what works for you. Do you need to straighten the bottom leg, or can you stack the legs so that the knees are on top of each other? And just draw yourself into this forward fold as you do. Keep the baby toe sides of the feet pressing nicely. Your hands are there to actually ensure that your sit bones stay rooted. There's not too much rounding here. We're just trying to get the hip rotators just a little bit more energized through this practice. Now inhale and rise up, and we'll do that same pose on our back. So as you lie on your back, cross the right thigh over the left, lift your feet up off the earth, take the feet away from each other, lift your head, find either your shin bones or your ankles, and draw your feet slightly forward. Just allow a nice stretch here as you keep your feet active, nice spreading of the toes. Now release your feet and thread the left thigh on top of the right. Same thing, draw your feet away from each other, lift your head up just so that you can find a place to hold on to your legs. Take your head back down and continue to draw your toes forward in order to take the feet a little wider apart. You're engaging the feet nicely. Release now, release your feet down. Park your feet firmly with the feet parallel. Inhale, lift your pelvis up. I always enjoy taking the elbows down to get a little bit more lift of the chest. Keep a nice strength in the legs, lift of the heart. Now slowly bring your pelvis down. Release your arms with the palms facing up. Extend your legs. As a reminder of the side body length that we're focusing on this practice, sweep your arms up and over your head. Enjoy a nice fullness to your breath. Now let the arms sweep to the right. Have the floor just support the back of the hands. Walk your feet over to the right side as well in order to get Lots of length to the left side. Breathe in and just expand the left side through the breath. Walk your hands and your feet just a little bit closer to each other. Almost like you're trying to create a letter C shape. Take your hands back to center. Take your feet back to center. Again, just like you're doing angel wings in the snow, draw your hands down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. The back of the hands are just moving on the floor. Now reach over to the left side. Walk your feet to the left side. Breathe to expand the right side. Walk your hands and your feet just a little bit further. Expand the right side with your breath. Take your arms back to center and spread your angel wings to draw them down alongside the pelvis with the palms facing up. Allow your legs and your arms to relax. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep out long. In this practice, we took extra attention to that area between the pelvis and your armpits. Draw your awareness to the right side ribs, to the left side ribs. Notice how the breath alone can continue to expand the effects of this practice. Breathe in deep and out long. Breathe in deep and out long. Breathe in deep and out long. Allow your breath to feel very free and natural. Slowly bend your knees, plant your feet, spread your angel wings, reach your arms over your head. Let your head rest on your right arm as you roll to your right side. Slowly lift yourself up to come to a seated position. Honor this opportunity you had to come to the mat, to get to know just a little bit more about your own body, how to lengthen the right side and the left side rib area. And to the teachings of yoga, we bow. Namaste.